Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Season 2 of Spilling the Beans. I thought that I would start out this season with a bang, as they say, and with me I have a special guest. I have my giggly sister, Courtney. Why don't you say hi?
Hi. Hi.
Hi. So, why don't you tell us about yourself?
I like gymnastics and slime.
Gymnastics and slime. The essentials. How old are you?
14.
What's your phone number?
What?
I'm just kidding. You don't have the social security number. I'm just kidding. And you're in 8th grade
Yep.
at the moment? So how's that been?
Okay, I guess.
Puberty's been okay?
Sure.
What's your favorite color?
Yellow.
What's the color of your shirt?
Yellow.
Yep. But they didn't know that, so black's not my favorite color, even though that's the color of the shirt. So how you said gymnastics and slime?
Yep.
Anything else you like to do?
I like to play with my friends.
Okay, but it's called hanging out at this point, right?
Yeah, except we play.
Yeah, everyone plays. They just don't want to say play anymore.
Yeah.
I think more adults should play with other
Yeah.
adults. That's what I think.
Not just with random kids.
Well, yeah, that's what you call creepy. That's when you should call the police. What other talents do you have? You can do the splits. And
Yep.
What are some tricks you can do on the trampoline?
I can do a front flip, an aerial right and left side. I did that today. I can do a front walkover, sometimes a back walkover. Like any front trick, and not very many backwards tricks.
Okay. What about like a gainer?
No.
You're not that advanced yet?
Nope.
Okay. It's only a matter of time, I'm sure.
Sure.
All right. I don't know if the people listening to this can hear it, but there's a creepy howling wind outside.
A ghost.
The weather's been getting nice. Isn't that great?
Yep.
That's pretty sad. I've already resorted to the weather. All right. So, since Courtney is on the younger side, I thought that this next topic would be fitting because I recently discovered this video game called Skyrim. I promise this is related, so just bear with me, Courtney. In Skyrim, there's this city called Solitude, and in Solitude, there's the Bard's College. Now, do you know what a bard is?
No.
A bard, it's pretty much like someone that sings and writes songs.
Okay.
You know, it's like, I'm trying to think of any bards in any movies. I mean, there's Bard from The Hobbit. Have you seen the Hobbit movies?
Yeah.
He's the guy that kills Smaug. Smaug. You know, Smaug,
Yeah.
Smaug, however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like sing really, I don't
Yeah.
think. But who's a bard? I don't know. Have you ever seen I confused about 3 movies all at once in my brain. I almost said The Count of the Holy Grail. That's not a movie. I don't know why the Count of... I'm not even thinking about I can't even talk.
The Count of Monte
The
Cristo.
Count of Monte Cristo. No, what's it called? Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Have you seen it?
I don't know.
You've probably at least seen clips of it. Okay, well, anyway. There's this guy... kids screaming. There's a character in that movie named Sir Robin, and there's this guy that just follows him, sings about him the whole time. So I guess he's like a bard, kind of. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, they have a bard's college, and the bards are typically known for being well versed in literature, and they're knowledgeable, and so they're pretty smart. but they're also performers. And so it's kind of a weird thing, because today you don't really think of like a band or a musician, think like, they're really intelligent,
Yeah.
At least you shouldn't, if they have no evidence of being smart at something. And I was thinking, like, today's music really isn't like that. Like, they didn't have to go to, like, the Bard's College or, like, a special college to make music, that ends up on the radio. Like, I mean, I'm sure many artists have degrees in music. I'm not saying that they don't. But it just seems like it's not translating into music that takes a lot of time and effort, has a lot of meaning. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think about today's music?
I think it's kind of weird.
Who's famous right now, do you know?
No.
Okay, well, I'm sure you're not missing out. But you probably hear a lot of the recent music, right?
Yeah.
Is auto-tune still a thing? Is that a main part of people's music?
Yeah, probably.
You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think auto-tune is just an atrocity.
Garbage.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's trash. I mean, I think in some situations it can be used as like an effect, but not in every song.
Yeah.
I mean, because Courtney loves Brandon Flowers, and that's why I love her. No, just kidding. No, but that is one thing I think is awesome about you. Not like about you. I don't know how to say it. Like, I think it's cool that you like Brandon Flowers.
I know what you mean.
That went south. But in one of his songs, Lonely Town, he uses Autotown. Come on down to Autotown. No, he uses auto-tune in Lonely Town for like 5 seconds for just in effect, but it's not the whole song. And that's probably the only song. Well, actually I take that back. In his song, in the Killer song Rut, the female voice is auto-tuned, but it was intentional. It was for an effect. It wasn't like, let's auto-tune the whole song just because he's tone deaf.
Yeah.
Have you heard any music by Drake?
No. I mean, probably
Okay,
like.
so you probably have, you
part
just
of
can't
it.
remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I've never chosen to.
Yeah. Yeah, I would never choose Drake. I don't know why he's so famous, because I think he's married to Beyonce. Is that how it is?
I have no idea.
I mean, I don't know the gossip. Maybe I don't even know what I'm talking about. But my friend was showing me a Drake song, and I was just auto-tuned the whole time. It was like, can this guy even sing? Like, did they get him just because he was hot, or like, I don't know, he's funny? Like, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Facepalm. And so, I don't think I've ever heard his actual voice, just auto-tune. I don't know. So, yeah. Anyway, what kind of music do you like then? I've already talked about what kind of music I like in a previous episode, but let's hear it from you.
I like Brandon Flowers, The Killers, Imagine Dragons. What's that one that you like?
Band?
Yeah.
From what time period?
I don't know.
Are they more modern, or are they from the 80s?
They're from the 80s.
The 80s? Well, I like Rush.
Yeah, Rush. That's
You
what
like Rush?
Couldn't remember what it was called.
I love Rush.
And
real quick, Haley, our sister, said recently that she would want Geddy Lee from Rush to narrate her life, which I think is such an interesting choice for a narrator. I mean, personally, I'd rather have like Idris Elba, the actor, narrate my life, or like who has a cool voice. Even like Markiplier from YouTube, I think he has a cool voice.
Or Morgan Freeman.
Or Morgan Freeman, yeah. I mean, I feel like he's the one everyone would choose first,
Yeah.
So I would want a different, or I know who I'd want, Jeff Bridges. He's an actor. He has like a really cool voice. Who do you know him from? In the first Iron Man movie, he's the bald bad guy.
Oh,
Obadiah Stane.
Obadiah.
Obadiah, down by the bayou. Anyway, sorry, so what were you going to say? You were going to say more music you like?
Yeah, but I can't remember what it is now.
Okay. Have you heard Imagine Dragons' most recent album?
I've heard some, I think.
You've probably heard Natural. That's
Yeah.
like is that one on the radio sometimes?
And I don't really listen to the
Okay.
radio.
Okay. Honestly, a friend told me that with that song, they were like, someone was probably like, we like it when Dan Reynolds just screams. So let's just have a song where he just does that the whole time. And that's what Natural is. 'Cause you're a natural. Like, that's what it is, pretty
Just
much.
like that.
Yeah, just like that. Better than him, even. No, I'm just kidding. I think their music is becoming too mainstream for me. Because they have that song Bad Liar.
Yeah.
Have you heard it? I mean, it's cool, but it's like... it didn't sound like Imagine Dragons. Like, it didn't sound like a very unique song.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, okay, did you make that just to get on the radio? And see, that's what I like about Rush. See, I watched that Rush documentary.
Mm-hmm.
It has a few F words in it, unfortunately. But anyway, they made an album, and it got kind of like, the producers were like, this is a weird album, it's like, if you do another album like this, you're probably not going to do very well. But they're like, we don't care, we just want to make our own music. And so they made another album, but people liked it, and so they kept making music. Did for over 4 decades.
Got wrecked.
So.
That guy did.
And what?
That guy got wrecked.
Yeah, whoever that guy or those people were. And I mean, I think they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now, Rush. So I think they were inducted like sometime in the past decade. So that's pretty recent for how long they've been doing things. Well, they recently retired.
Yeah.
They retired last year. But I think I heard Def Leppard's finally going to be inducted, I think this year.
That's cool.
Which, I like Def Leppard. I mean, I feel like you can't induct too many people, otherwise it's like, okay, well, what does it take to get in now? It's like not that hard. So you like music from the 80s then?
Yeah.
What's your favorite 80s group?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Bon Jovi. That's what I was
Oh.
gonna say before.
Good choice. Do you have a favorite Bon Jovi song?
I don't know. But I like This House Is Not For Sale.
Okay, so like recent Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
That song came out 2017. Did you know
Really?
that?
I thought it was a lot older.
Yep. Yeah, Bon Jovi's been going for a while. I think their first album was it could have been 83. It was in the 80s, early 80s.
Oh, they're old.
Ooh, actually I think it was 91 because I know their third album was in 85. And that's like their most famous album, Slippery When Wet. It was even quoted by Bill and Ted. Have you ever seen
Excuse
Bill
me?
and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
No.
That is a movie from the 80s. It is a strange movie. Watch it with a VidAngel.
Okay.
For sure, because there's a lot of language in it. But Bon Jovi's really awesome. I'd be okay if Bon Jovi is like the kind of group you would have play at Stadium of Fire.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Journey did before.
Oh yeah, Journey. That's another one I like.
Journey is very awesome. Phil Collins is awesome. And I've recently been listening to Genesis, which is the band that Phil Collins was in. I think, why do you think I enjoy music from the 80s more than today's music?
Because it's better.
Rip today's music. Just telling it how it is, because it's better.
It's true.
It's true. I totally agree. Yeah, if you want to know more of the specifics, watch the episode about music that I did in the last season. But, yeah. Anyway, is there anything else you'd like to talk about? I mean, I just didn't give any time to think about that, so you probably don't. And if
No.
not, that's all right. Okay, so Courtney and I are going to do this little activity. There's the concept would you rather, where you're given these two difficult decisions. And usually it's a pain to have to choose one or the other because you don't want to do either, or you can only choose one, and you can't do the other. So it can be a hard thing. But I think they're a lot of fun because I think it's a lot of fun to explain your reasoning. Because I know my personality is that without having thought about something, I'll probably be able to form an opinion very quickly based on how I already am and what I already believe. Mm-hmm. And so I can usually come up with an answer fairly quickly. And so I want to see if how Courtney responds to these, and it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of these questions will be bizarre. We just have these cards. We don't know what the questions are yet, but we're about to find out. And I don't think any of these are inappropriate, but if they are, you can just skip it.
Okay.
Just pass. And so Courtney and I are going to alternate. The person asking is going to answer first, and then the other person will. So, are you ready, Courtney? Okay, would you rather? Okay, would you rather ride in a tight crate for a 13-hour plane flight, or with cows in the back of a truck for a 2-day road trek? That's an interesting question. So either be trapped in a box on a plane for 13 hours, or with cows in the back of a truck for a 2-day road trek. Well, this reminds me of Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking
when
too.
she's in the train car and there's those cows underneath, licking her feet or whatever. Good movie, by the way.
Wait, in math today, there's a Japanese class before, and they were watching Spirited Away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, I haven't seen Spirited Away in a long time. I just remember thinking it was really, really weird.
Yeah.
Which it is. It is a bizarre movie. The animation's really cool, though. That's something about the Studio Ghibli movies, is that they're very careful with the animation. They take a lot of time on it. And it ends up looking really cool. Mm-hmm. Like Castle in the Sky.
Oh, it's cool.
They make Laputa look so cool. That's probably my favorite one. I like Nausicaa also. We're already distracted. Which is all right, If we want to talk about it, we will. That's how this podcast works. I get sidetracked on normal episodes pretty much every time. I usually get on a tangent. But I guess I don't want to be in a tight crate. That sounds very miserable. I would not mind being in the back of a truck with cows, as long as they were nice cows and wouldn't hurt me, And I mean, I'm assuming we would have food and water, because obviously either of these we would be in trouble.
Yeah.
I'd choose the plane ride in that case, but I think I'd choose the cows just because I like cows.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact I would get sick on the plane. I don't know for sure if I would but I'm in the back of the truck is the thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not buckled in, so it'd probably be a bumpy ride. I think I'd still want to be with the cows, though.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
I'd want to be with the cows so I could see their cute faces all day.
Yeah, I love cows. They're very cute animals. I also enjoy eating them. That's not a rip on cows. That's just,
It just sounds weird when you say that. I say it like that.
I mean, is someone over there?
Lindsay.
Our Lindsay. I was going to say, I love cows. I believe that they were created so that we could use them, but we should also treat them well. Obviously I don't condone animal cruelty. So there you go. That's my spiel on animal cruelty. Why don't you read us the next question?
Would you rather be known around town as a coward or as a fool? I'd probably
I already know what I want.
be as a coward, because I don't know, a fool, it's someone who makes bad decisions, I guess.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to be why would you want to be a coward instead? Like, what is your definition of a coward in this case?
Someone who doesn't do stuff,
What's
like dangerous stuff, or like...
Like they get cold feet, like they get scared. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the definition of fool and coward. Because when I think of a coward, I think of somebody that didn't do the right thing because it was in their best interests. And so even though the right thing was harder, or I mean, even though the right thing was the right thing, they didn't do it because it was the more difficult option. That's what I think of as like a coward. Because I think it's okay to be afraid of things. It's like that show Courage the Cowardly Dog. He wasn't, like, I don't remember much of that show, and I'm glad because it was a weird show, but I remember he was just scared of things. But he ended up, like, he had to save those two old people. I don't remember the concept of that show, but I don't think it should have been Courage the Cowardly Dog. I think it should have been, like, something, I don't know what it would have been, but I don't know. I wouldn't call him a coward, you know, because you can be, there's nothing wrong with being afraid as long as you don't let that prevent you from doing stuff.
Yeah.
You should try not to be afraid, but, so I think I'd rather be a fool in that sense, just because, I mean, in many cases I consider myself a fool already. I mean, obviously I don't have knowledge about certain topics, but also I do things and I'm like, okay, that was dumb. Why did I do that? And so I think I'd rather be known as, because you can be a fool and people can still like you. You know, it's like, oh man, he's such a fool, but I don't know. You can be a fool by also making bad decisions. But I think I'd rather be a fool though.
Fool?
You heard it from me, I'd rather be a fool. All right. Sounds good for that one. Let's see. Would you rather live today with every necessity provided for, but never again know luxury, or go back in time 100 years and be the richest person in the world? That's an interesting... Do you understand the question?
Can you read that again?
So it says, would you rather live today with every necessity provided for, but never again know luxury? Okay, so...
Oh, like know luxury. Like K... Like know with a K?
Oh, yes. But never again know luxury. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty... I mean, yeah. Otherwise it'd just be a double negative. Be like, never again know luxury. It's like, yes, I'm always rich. Or go back in time 100 years and be the richest person in the world. So you have to think about what they had in 1919. I'm just kidding. The X-Files. That reminds me real quick. I was looking at these comments about this video I was watching, and it was like, what's another name for the... It was like some joke about the Hitler Youth. It made sense in the context of the video. It was like, oh yeah, this and this. And the exact number of likes at that moment were 666.
Oh yeah, I think you're
I was just like...
That's funny.
Okay. Anyway.
Struggling to breathe.
I know. So, anyway. We're focusing more on the 1919 aspect of this. So, 1919, that was like right before the Great Depression. And they didn't have phones, like cell phones. They didn't have like the best cars. You know, they didn't have the best medicine. It's like, would you want to be the richest person in that state, or be totally fine with just having the bare necessities for the rest of your life today, but not know like what it would mean to be luxurious, like have special commodities and like good things? Like, which would you rather have? Well, I guess what I would rather have is live today and have every necessity provided for. Yeah. Just because I know I wouldn't have to deal with polio and other things like that. What about you?
That's what I would want to do, because like after that, then you like don't know what it is, so then you won't like be like jealous of other people having it.
That's true.
Yeah, and like you wouldn't be like, oh dang it, I can't have this super nice thing, because you wouldn't like know about it.
That's true, because we'd know about the nice things, and then we go back in time and be like, wow, this stinks.
Yeah.
Even Captain America was like, the internet's really helpful, you know, no polio's good, the food's better. They used to boil everything, I guess, is what he was saying. So, even it sounds like even the necessities today are better than a lot of the nice things they had back then.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's what I would choose. So, why don't you give us the next question?
Would you rather spend every minute for the rest of your life indoors or outdoors?
Okay.
I'd rather do outdoors, because like you can still get stuff like that you need, but you just like wouldn't be able to go inside.
Yeah.
You could like be in a tent, 'cause that doesn't really count as indoors.
Man.
But if you were indoors all day, or like all your life, then you would like probably get super sick of it because you couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think. That'd be a toss-up for me, just because I would, if I'm going to live outside, I need to have the best outdoor equipment if I'm going to survive.
Yeah.
Which means, and I'd be totally okay living outdoors as long as I would have access to music and computer stuff for, you know, various reasons, email, video games, YouTube, whatever. Like I'd want to be able to experience all the things I enjoy now and be able to use them outside. So, and if I'm going to live outside, it doesn't specify where in the world you could live. So I could live somewhere where the weather's a lot nicer. Like even southern Utah, like I could it'd still be in Utah.
Yeah.
But like St. George, it's significantly warmer in St. George than it is here. So I think I'd rather live outside. I mean, and that doesn't mean you're in the sun all the time. You could have like a tarp over you, like a, what do they call those things? I want to say pavilion. I mean, basically a pavilion.
Yeah.
You know those things
Yeah, I
like
know.
you can bring to the beach,
about.
like those things. So I think I'd choose outside, just because it's not good to be inside all the time. I know I need to go outside more, especially with the weather being really nice now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think outdoors for sure. All right. What do you think of this so far? Is this interesting?
Yeah.
I think it is too. This is an interesting question. Would you rather have a nosy neighbor or a noisy neighbor? And by nosy, I don't mean just like a person made of noses.
Yeah, I know what that means.
You knows what that means? Okay, dumbest joke of the century right there. I knows what I think about that. I knows what I think about that. Okay. It depends on the definition of nosy. Like, to what extent they're nosy. Because they could, I mean, I don't know if that means like they're always prying, you know, they're always like, what are they up to? Like, getting into your business type thing. I wouldn't like that. I like my privacy. I mean, I like to talk with the neighbors, you know, but I don't want them always just like looking in the front room window.
That'd be really creepy.
What are they doing in there, you know? Like, I don't want to feel like I need a security system or a car fort like our uncle. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, well, I'll tell you later then. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a noisy neighbor, I guess, as long as it was consistent. Because if one day our neighbor just like had this blood-curdling scream, you'd just be like, whoa, what's happening? And you'd go over there and see if they were still alive. Make sure they weren't murdered by the nosy neighbor. You know? I don't know, but I mean, because if it was like well, the problem with a noisy neighbor, I think if I had a okay, I keep saying the wrong word. I think I'd rather have a noisy neighbor, because if they were loud at night, surely I wouldn't be the only one bothered by it.
Yeah.
And we could petition for them to cut it out.
Yeah.
If they didn't, they get sent to prison.
Yeah.
You know, or not to prison, it's sent to prison.
I was like, yeah.
Or, you know, there'd be ways to deal with it.
Yeah.
They could move, you know. But with a nosy neighbor, I don't know. Like that wouldn't be harder to deal with. And especially like I wouldn't want to have to confront them or anything. That's not something I like to do, is confront people. So I think I'd rather have a noisy neighbor. What do you think about it?
I think I'd rather have a noisy neighbor too, because like we already kind of have some noisy neighbors, or mostly just some little kids that are always screaming.
We already heard some kids screaming, even in the half hour this has been going on. So
But
that's true. We're more used to it.
yeah.
Like ever since we've lived in this house, there's been noisy kids around. So yeah, sweet. Well, why don't you give us the next one? And if I'm talking too much, let me know. It's just, I feel like I just have to super explain it. Uh-oh, what's that face?
Would you rather have tufts of hair growing on your tongue or have tufts of hair growing on your nose?
Ooh, the nose, of course. Sorry, I didn't let you go first, but...
Yeah, I'd rather have the nose, 'cause
Ooh.
if it was on your tongue, then you wouldn't you'd like gag all the time and like...
I mean, if you had tufts of hair growing on your nose, I mean, you can shave it.
Yeah.
It's like, and this is how I feel about The Greatest Showman, you know, that lady with the beard? It's like, if you're so self-conscious about it, why don't you shave?
Yeah.
Like, surely a 5 o'clock shadow would look better on this lady than the beard, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how to tell you this, but every guy that has facial hair, they shave if they don't want it. That's how they do it, and it's gone. Like, look at me.
Magic.
Yeah. Beardless. You know how I got there?
You shaved.
I shaved it off. I don't know how she didn't... I mean, surely she couldn't have been that clueless,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, she never wondered, like, how do men take care of their beards? And how would she have gotten to that point? Like, how would she have not known? You know? I don't know. It's like, I didn't feel as bad for that girl as I did other people, you know? But whatever. Anyway, and with your tongue, it's like, you'd have to shave it, because if it's growing,
Yeah.
you'd need to shave it. And
But that would like be hard to
you
shave
could-
your tongue.
yeah, exactly, because your tongue's always moving, and you'd have to like sedate your tongue every day, like give it a shot, and then you wouldn't feel it. So if you cut yourself, you wouldn't know. So basically, there is no reason why you would choose tongue over nose, unless you're messed up. I just insulted everyone that would have picked tongue right then. That is a gross. And the people that think of these are twisted sometimes, because you're like, how would you even think of that? Okay, so that was green you just read?
Oh wait, it says no hair removal in parentheses.
No hair removal? Still no.
Yeah.
Because that's just gross. The feeling of hair, because sometimes you get a hair in your mouth and you're like, ooh, and that's just one hair.
Yeah.
And there's a tuft. So
Yeah.
it's probably like the gross curly armpit hair then. Well, that's what I think of when I think of like a tuft of hair. Or like when you get a haircut and there's like the tufts of hair.
Yeah.
I guess that wouldn't apply to you as much. But for me, it's like the hair you saw in the trash when in the bathroom. For those that, I didn't talk about this yet on the show, but I developed a bad habit of trichotillomania, which is the act of pulling out one's own hair. And I realized that the audience is like, too much information. But I realized it was due to me stressing out a lot, and I thought, hey, if I don't have any hair,
You
then
can't
I
pull
have
it
nothing
out.
to pull. And so, and it's worked so far, you know, and it's kind of hard to pull out short hair anyway. And I haven't tried, so hopefully that'll break the habit. So I was pretty much bald at one point. Anyway, that's what that was about. So, anyway, next question. Would you rather be completely alone with nobody in the vicinity for 1 year, or never be alone for even 1 minute for a year? Now, this is interesting because I've already experienced something kind of like this. It's called having a companion on a mission. That is so. All of our friends that listen to this that are members of our church, that have served missions, have done it for longer than a year already, assuming they've served for at least a year. Because at least right now, the times for girls is a year and a half, and for guys it's 2 years. So they've already done it for twice the thing. Because you pretty much have to be in your companion's sight always. I mean, obviously not when you have to use the toilet.
Yeah,
or,
obviously.
like, shower and stuff. Like, it's like, all right, I guess I'll just be over here. Go ahead and use the toilet. It's like in the stall or whatever. Like, because that's just really weird and messed up. But I mean, but you're not alone. Like if they're not in the bathroom, like also using the bathroom, like in a different toilet.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure people aren't envisioning the wrong thing. If they're not in the bathroom, they're just outside, waiting.
Yeah.
And I mean, being completely alone with nobody in the vicinity, that's sad,
Yeah, because you have nothing to do.
Yeah, you get bored. Who do you talk to? I'd much rather be with someone. I mean, hopefully you can choose who to be around.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even necessarily mean just one person the whole time. You could have a group of people with you, so I would much rather never be alone even for 1 minute.
Yeah, that's what I would do too.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some people that would much rather be alone, but not me. All right, I think you're going now. I think I read the wrong part of it, but whatever.
Oh.
Whatever.
Would you rather have one child who is totally out of control or 9 children who are well-behaved angels?
All right.
I'd rather have 9 children because if you just have one, then it's like they'd get annoying really fast.
And you wouldn't love them.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying.
No, but because then, like, you would not want them around. But if you have 9 who are, like, all super good behaved, then you'd want them around. And, like, it'd be fun.
Right. I think, yeah, I totally agree with that reasoning. I think something else to consider is that even if you have 1 out-of-control kid versus 9 well-behaved, 9 children is way more expensive than 1 child. Even if they're out of control and you have to go out of your way to... Sorry. I had to... Do you hear that, everyone? That's my nose. Can you believe that? Anyway. Courtney's like trying it, nothing's happening.
I can hear it.
Your nose is popping?
Yeah.
Really?
A little bit. It's just not loud.
I have this urge to do it. I just have to do it sometimes. Anyway. My friends in high school thought I was just wiping my nose all the time, but I told them, I'm like, no, I'm popping my nose. Listen. And they were like, that trick, it's like you do the fingernail
so
on the
you
tooth
don't
thing.
need to do that.
But I don't. It's like, look, everyone. And you can clearly see my teeth. I don't know. Anyway. So I don't know what I'd choose. I mean, it would be amazing to have well-behaved kids, and I wouldn't mind having... I guess, are you restricted to only having 1 child in this scenario? Like, can you only have 1 kid?
It just says have 1 child who is totally out of control.
I think I'd rather have the 9 children then, because, I mean, I would like more than 1 child.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be better for the children also. That'd be interesting having 9 children. I mean, our parents barely survived with just us 5, so I wonder how that would be. But, no, our parents love us, I think, so.
You think?
No, I know they do.
I hope so.
Okay, so let's see what this one is. How about we go to the 45-minute mark? Does that sound good?
Okay.
And then we can wrap things up. Would you rather sleep every night in a human-sized nest in a tree or in a burrow underground? Your arm popped. That's a weird question. I mean, I mean, all these are kind of weird, but sleep every night in a human-sized nest in a tree or in a burrow underground. The thing is, when I think if it's a nice burrow, because I want to fall out of the nest. Well, I mean, I would lose my mind in both these situations. Well, probably more so the burrow, just because I'd be thinking like, what if it caves in?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that sounds like the worst thing ever. I think I would rather fall out of a tree than be buried alive.
That'd be so scary.
You know? It's like in The Count of Monte Cristo when they're digging through the tunnels. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Okay. And the rocks are coming down on the guy. It's like, first of all, that's sad part of the movie. You know, the guy dies or whatever. But that's horrifying to just be like crushed by the rock and be suffocated and stuff.
Yeah. Do you know what I think would be way worse than that?
What?
Like on the episode of MacGyver with the ants.
You mean getting eaten alive by the ants?
Yeah. I've only watched that once and I've never wanted to watch it again.
Oh, come on, you wimp.
No, you.
Ooh. Even Dabs right after. Oh boy. Even Haley has said like he doesn't want to watch it anymore. I thought it was really creepy. It did bother me, but I thought it was also kind of awesome. And it's like, I'm not gonna watch it again, you know. I don't know. Anyway, I mean, birds' nests usually don't fall out of the tree.
Unless like a bigger bird goes in it or like a squirrel or something.
Right. And so if I take every precaution with this nest, I take the nest. I mean, hopefully I prefer it not to be the very tall tree because I'm afraid of heights also. But beats being buried alive. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd want to do that too because it'd probably be more comfortable than just like laying on the ground.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, I don't know how burrows work if like animals bring materials into the burrow to make like a soft sleeping area.
Yeah.
I don't know, but at least with a nest, I mean, I think we have control of our nests and burrows and whatnot. And so we could bring pillows into the nest. Like, it doesn't say we can't do that. But yeah, I think even if we couldn't, I think I'd rather take a nest because you can at least like sleep against the side of it or something, you know. So, yeah. Anyway, let's have this be our last one, unless it's like a really dumb short one. But let's have this be the final question.
It's too long.
Okay. Throws the whole card down.
Would you rather have a social phobia that will never again allow you to hug or kiss anyone, or have a social phobia that will never again allow you to look at a person directly in the eye?
Now that's interesting. I know what I would choose right off the bat. I'm supposed to let you talk first, sorry. I keep forgetting. I'm just so eager to answer these questions.
I'd probably do one to hug or kiss anyone because I usually don't do that anyways.
Hopefully you haven't kissed anyone.
I mean, not on the
like
mouth.
on the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. All right. That got awkward.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, that'd be horrible not looking anyone else in the eye.
Yeah.
You know?
You're just like...
I know, it's like I'd be talking to you and I'd just be like looking over here the whole time. And then you'd move, I'd just have to like move my face. My face? Move my gaze. That's what I mean. Move my face. Okay. This is our sense of humor. Yeah. And I mean, that'd be sad, not being able to like hug and kiss your future spouse. You know, I almost said wife, but that only applies to me. Assuming you're going to marry a husband. Okay.
Marry a husband?
I mean, oh, that's immoral. Don't marry a husband. Marry a man. A single man. Don't marry a husband, and I won't marry a wife. There'll be a wife when I'm married to them. All right, enough of this. But yeah, that one wasn't very hard. Let's do one more, and we can have you ask it.
At the middle of the deck.
You can. It doesn't have to be a color. You can look through them all and pick the hardest one.
The first one I looked at was about a spouse.
Oh, really?
Oh, this is a good one, I guess.
Alrighty, let's hear it.
Would you rather have to explain to your spouse how you lost your wedding ring or why you forgot your anniversary?
I can see how this would be hard for people, but I know what I would do right off the bat.
I'd rather do it the wedding ring. The ring, because it's easier to lose that than to forget something so important like that and like so monumental. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, a ring is just it's just an object, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously it was probably worth a lot,
yeah,
and
but it's not like it's worth like billions of dollars. I mean, I hope.
Right. Assuming you didn't spend all your money on it. But it's less the ring and more the
thought that counts.
Right. Like if you remember the anniversary, then that's because you can, if you lose the ring and never find it, that's it.
Yeah.
But you can forget an anniversary over and over again potentially, and that doesn't seem good.
Yeah.
You know? And so, and plus, I think that would mean more to your spouse if you remembered the anniversary or birthday or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if you lose the ring, I mean, if you marry a good person, they'll be like, they might be a little sad, but they'll be like, whatever, you know, it's just a ring. We have each other still. Yeah. I mean, that sounds kind of cheesy, but I mean, that's how I would imagine it would be, if assuming you were both decent and wanted to be happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that was a nice little, you got me. That was a nice little topic about marriage. I don't know if, did you hear that? That was weird. It's just, in my jaw, when I do this, it's almost like this crunch, not like a crunch.
Oh, that happens to me sometimes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can hear it. Probably not, because it's inside my mouth. Anyway, when you were struggling saying the word ring, it reminded me, I went to a reception recently, and it was at Thanksgiving Point. But on Thanksgiving Point, on the sign, the ing was just flickering, so it was like ing, 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 ing.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Anyway, that's all. So, has this been, that didn't work. Has this been fun?
Yeah. Yeah.
Had to get it before the drink. Oh, you spilled. Hopefully not on the microphone. I guess we'll find out when Megan edits it. But anyway, I thought having a guest would be a good way to start the season with a blast. That's not how the song goes. But yeah, this is Courtney, my sister. Any final, I almost said any last words. It's not like, I'm not going to kill you. Like anything else to say before we head out like a fetus?
No.
Nothing else?
No.
All right. Sounds good. Well, this has been fun, and I'll think of something to do for the next episode. Give them a sign off.
Nugget pounding. Nugget
pounding. I totally thought you were serious for a second. Nugget pounding.
Noggin pounded.
That is hilarious. All right, you heard it here, folks. Pounding nugget. Pounding nugget. See you, everyone.